Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you've heard. Today, my name is Andy.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ash.
And we're the Real Awkward team of...
Here at your services.
People. We do real awkward things on a podcast that's real awkward.
Just like now.
Uh-huh.
We do it best.
We do. did it best. We're shooting straight over to Amanda Jangles Campbell.
Yeah, what are you drinking? What is that?
This is an old Taco Bell cup that I rinsed out. And I've been trying to not drink as many canned energy drinks because I'm officially middle-aged and I can't handle the caffeine after 5 p.m.
Yep.
And I can't handle the carbonation. And I also can't have as much dairy as I once thought, but that's unrelated. It just goes to me being middle-aged now.
I'm feeling all of that.
So I still have a very heavy reliance on caffeine, but I just can't drink a ton of energy drinks anymore. So I'm trying like the energy drink like powder mix. I've tried out a couple of them. This one's by a brand called G Fuel.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Is that Gatorade?
It's essentially Gatorade, but it's like for gamers. But I don't know. They had like a variety pack online, and then like it was a decent deal. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. Because
did you get the Shrek one?
Did I get what?
The Shrek one?
The
swamp water?
What?
I really wanted it, but it was sold out when I bought all my stuff.
I think one of my friends has like a sponsorship through G4 or whatever.
G Fuel?
G Fuel, yeah.
It's just one of those
they're
things
like
where
nerdy. Like there's like a Rubik's Cube one and like a Shadow Hedgehog.
So
snow cone.
I've tried a handful of the flavors. Honestly, Amazon has them for a little cheaper than the website, and it's sold through G Fuel. So, but I'm trying one right now. It's called Snow Cone, and it's like blue raspberry, cherry, lemon, and it just kind of tastes like generically fruity, and so it's not bad at all. And I feel a little better about it because I'm like, ooh, look at me drinking all this water when I drink this. Like, ooh. And then I have another one called like Tropical Rain, and it's a little too fake tropical for me, which is where the problem arises is you're paying like $35 to $40 for a tub of energy drink mix that if you don't like it, you're out $35 to $40.
Yeah.
I feel like the Flava Flavs, like you remember when Bang was on the scene and everybody thought all of those flavors were fantastic, but I don't know if it's as popular anymore.
I can't drink those, dude. They kill me.
Yeah.
So the Shrek one, it's supposed to be like Mai Tai or I think it's Mai Tai. But a lot of the reviews I've read, like a lot of the flavors they have that have coconut, it's like if you don't
have to like coconut.
love coconut, don't spend your money. And
I feel like that's how coconut is in anything.
Yeah. And so a handful of the flavors I really want to try have coconut. And so I'm like, well, but it's been fine. And then I'm trying the Alani brand has like drink packs. And they recommend you put them in just like a regular grocery store bottle of water. And I did that, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is so sweet." So I put it into like I just have like a big tall shaker cup, which I can just put ice in it, and so it almost probably ended up being like 30 ounces of water versus like 12 or 16 or whatever, and it was like 1,000 times better.
But hey, then you get more water, right?
Honestly, that was where I was like, more caffeine, and there's more water in it, so
it works out.
I'm doing something good for myself.
It's all about the science. Okay.
For me, it's all about how much caffeine is in my beverage. So sorry about it if you hear me shaking it. That's the one thing I don't like is if you do these yourself and you don't have, I feel like I constantly have to keep shaking it because it'll separate.
You have a little mixer thing?
I do have one, but this is a plastic cup and I got nervous to do it. But anyway, so that's not what I'm going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah, not at all. I just saw the cup and I was like, what is it?
What a good segue to energy drinks.
Just care about my friend and what she's doing.
What you got on the table?
I have a news story from last year, but I'm going to
news.
pretend like it's current, okay? Just humor me. Authorities in London. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
London got it. Authorities got it.
Authorities in London have arrested a 63-year-old man in connection with the cheese heist of 2024.
Oh.
In which tens of thousands of pounds of high-value cheddar were stolen from a major distributor.
Ooh, ain't no government cheese.
So this is from an NPR article.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty much just gonna like read, most of the article, but they do a pretty like decent job of just giving the facts. A London-based retailer and cheesemaker, Neal's Yard Dairy, said it learned that a suspect was in custody. The Metropolitan Police confirmed that a man was detained on suspicion of fraud by false representation and handling stolen goods. So this is over the past weekend, but it happened like a few months ago. The British artisanal cheese community have been reeling after Neal Yard's Dairy announced it had been the victim of a sophisticated fraud resulting in the loss of over $300,000 worth of cloth-bound cheddar. So 300,000 pounds worth of it, the equivalent of more than $389,000 worth of cheese.
That's a lot of cheese.
Wow.
That's a lot of cheese.
The theft involved a fraudulent buyer posing as a legitimate wholesale distributor for a major French retailer, with the cheese delivered before the delivery of the fraudulent identity. The cheese was delivered before the discovery of the fraudulent identity. Okay, so the thief got away with 950 wheels. So that's over 22 metric tons, 48,500 pounds of Hayford, Westcombe, and Pitchfork cheddar. The wheels of cheddar come from 3 different artisan suppliers across England. So this is a quote. Between them, these cheeses have won numerous awards and are amongst the most sought-after artisan cheeses in the UK. The high monetary value of these cheeses made it likely that they are a particular target for thieves.
Wow.
So I didn't know this, but like doing this article, I learned, cheddar cheese it originated in a village, in England, and it's like a huge source of national pride that like cheddar cheese is from there.
It's funny because to us, we're just like cheddar is like the basic cheese.
Yeah.
And
Gouda.
Well, and apparently, like,
it's pretty good.
Apparently, there's only like a handful of like quote unquote real cheddar cheesemakers left in the world, and that's where all the cheese was stolen from.
Oh,
So my question is, obviously they figured it out. I wonder if they got it back, or like, is there serial numbers on these cheeses that they can track down? Because what are you going to do with cheese? You got to resell it to make money.
Say. That's a lot of quesadillas.
So when someone is like, hey, where did you get all this cheese? And there's only one spot in town that had cheese stolen, I feel like you can put 2 and 2 together.
Well, it's England versus France. So they believe the guy was, because he impersonated like a French distributor.
Right.
And so basically they just assumed they were being taken to France to be sold.
See, I'm just wondering, like,
but then what does the guy do with it?
Yeah, it's like slinging cheese at the back of alleys,
right?
And like,
in France, maybe.
How do you get rid of 10 metric tons of cheese?
The owner of Neal's Yard Dairy said that the robbers asked the dairy company to deliver the cheese to a London warehouse. They collected it and then disappeared. He believes that they may be trying to sell it in France, but also the Middle East or Russia, because, quote unquote, people won't ask questions there.
Okay, I understand it then. Like, this isn't just moving to the next town and starting to open up your own cheese factory, and you're just like, hey, y'all, we're stocked. We're stocked over here.
He says, I think if they tried to sell it closer to home, they'd find it difficult because apparently the North American and Australian cheese communities along with European, are all very connected.
It goes deep.
Hey, Roger, you lose any cheese?
So apparently,
So funny.
there's been a request to the esteemed community of cheesemongers around the world to keep an eye out for the cheese and contact them if they are offered or receive any suspicious deals.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, cut you a deal.
Yeah, especially cloth-bound cheddars of certain weights with the tags detached.
I do get it though, like, because Russia would just be like, "Don't matter, give me cheese. Don't fucking care where it come from. Give me cheese." Yeah, I get it. Okay, if they were smuggling cheese into a different country and like selling as like a bulk to like a black market, I get it then. I get the revenue stream, but I was literally thinking it was like across town and like you leave that cheese factory and you pull your truck up to the next one and you're like, "Hey, you want to buy this?"
Yeah, there's like a huge theft at the cheese factory, and then right across the street, it's like this old abandoned warehouse that's like new cheese, cheap,
New cheese
Like,
today, under new management, new cheese.
yeah, right, cheap.
Fantastic. Oh my God. Is there any more to that story?
No, that's it. That is
that's fantastic.
the UK cheese heist.
Wow. That one goes down in history.
That's a beautiful segue.
It's time to eat a treat. It's time to eat a treat. It's time to eat a treat. Hey, Ashley, what you baking today? We just can't wait for your recipe. Hey, Ashley, what you baking today? We just can't wait for your recipe.
My headphones fell off. I've been
For
rocking
your
too hard.
recipe.
Okay. Sorry.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Ash,
Yeah.
this wasn't even your recipe,
This
was
one,
it?
shh. This one requires backstory.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody who knows us knows that we moved from Washington across the country and now live on the east side. And it's been lovely, but the one thing that we miss more than friends and family
More than our loved ones.
Nice save.
is the teriyaki.
Oh my God.
You can't get good teriyaki out here. They don't understand it.
No.
They don't know what
No.
they're doing. They have this hibachi crap they're trying to sell.
It is hibachi, cubed cut, salty chicken, soy garbage.
That sounds terrible.
And every single restaurant's like, "Oh, we do hibachi." And I'm like, "Ew, get the fuck out." It's disgusting.
just not right. So what we
No,
found
it's not
out,
right.
what we found out is that what we are used to as far as teriyaki in Washington is considered Seattle teriyaki.
It's literally
its own thing.
called Seattle teriyaki. And I didn't even know that being from Seattle. I was just like, that's teriyaki. That's what it tastes like.
Right.
But it's not.
So anyway, it's
The
Seattle
rest of
teriyaki.
the country has garbage
It is
for
originated
teriyaki.
there. It is delicious. So Andy happens upon this TikTok randomly.
Yep.
That's good. That's good. That's like, here's a recipe for how you make Seattle teriyaki, because for some reason it never occurred to us that we could just make our own.
Nope. I was like, Lou, I guess we'll never eat it again.
So we decided we were going to do it. I got some chicken thighs in the freezer, right?
Yep. I defrosted
And
those bad
we
boys.
look up the recipe and it's so easy.
It was way easier than I thought.
So we got all the ingredients and threw it together. So 1 cup of soy sauce,
Boom.
half a cup of sugar,
Sweet.
a tablespoon of garlic,
Yes.
a tablespoon of ginger,
Make me.
a tablespoon of mirin.
Yes.
Mirin?
Which is a rice wine,
Yeah. And a tablespoon of sake.
which is
Right?
Japanese
Did I miss anything?
alcohol. No, it was that's it. Those 6 ingredients.
Yeah. So anyway, so you mix them all together. That makes the marinade. You put them in a bowl with the chicken and you marinate it. Right? But you had a trick, Andy. What was your trick?
The trick was that you get a mixer. What's it actually called? KitchenAid.
KitchenAid mixer?
KitchenAid mixer. You get the dough hook. You throw all your chicken in that mixer with the marinade and you let it go for 20 minutes. And by the time you're done,
On high or low? What did you do?
low. You go low.
You know, just like
Yeah, freaking teriyakis just splashing against the walls.
Could you imagine?
The chicken's ripping into pieces,
tell
hitting
me
you in
what
the
spirit
I
face.
would totally imagine Andy doing that, just like cranking it
Ripping
up.
it.
Didn't
Yeah.
say not to do it on 8. Yes, so super low. You do the 20 minutes. When you come back, every bit of marinade that you poured in there is gone because it's infused into the chicken. And
So I should say half the marinade goes into the chicken. The other half you save it.
That is correct.
Because you make that into the teriyaki sauce.
Sauce.
So you reduce that down. I just put it on the stove for a little bit, threw a cornstarch slurry in it to thicken it up, and poured that over the teriyaki that you grilled on our Blackstone.
I grilled it on the flat
It's
top,
amazing.
baby. Oh, it's so, flat top. I go flat top. For anybody who is thinking about getting a flat top grill, do it. Dude, smash burgers, frickin' teriyaki done right, like evenly cooked food. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So yes, I did the chicken. It had just a little bit of that crisp, a little bit of that sugar burn on it. Oh, mix. And then you put it in, well, at least I did, like put it in a covered top, storage container just for a little bit, like let them juices flow. And then I cut it, and every single bite was like heaven. Right? Your eyes rolled in the back of your head.
It was one of those things where like, oh, here, let me taste it. And then it just like, you get a little bit of taste that just like hits. And you're like, this is it. This is it.
We missed
it. Tastes like home.
Knowing that it's not around here makes you want to open up
We're going to make our
Seattle
own.
teriyaki
We're going to bottle
restaurant.
it up. We're going to sell it.
It's just crazy that everyone around here is like, I love hibachi. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, you don't. It's awful.
You only love it because it's your only option.
Yes.
Because you know nothing else.
Yes. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. It was like a taste of home. I was basically like, see, we will bring a little bit of our culture here. I mean, everybody shuns the Hawaiian pizza out here. So at least maybe they'd like.
So now we got to dip
Seattle
our toes
stereotype.
into like some Chinese food because
they don't have that right
we're
here
lacking
either.
over here.
Yeah. Anything Asian food don't hit in the South. Just want to let you guys know. They know their barbecue and their chicken. They do not know.
They got their pizza. They got their burgers.
They do not know their teriyaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect South Carolina to be the place to go to get incredible Asian food.
Absolutely not.
We ran into a place randomly in West Virginia when we were there. And we're like, well, let's just find somewhere quick to grab some food. And then we'll head back to the tiny house we rented. And we were like, oh, there's a teriyaki place over here. And we're inside and we ordered and we're standing there waiting for our food. And Andy turns around and look at the wall and it says Seattle teriyaki. And we're just like, what?
I took a picture of it, I think, and posted it on my Instagram.
I was going to say, I feel like I saw a picture of Seattle teriyaki.
It does exist.
It's a national chain, apparently, called Teriyaki Madness. And
I couldn't even remember what it was called.
And they specialize in Seattle style teriyaki across the nation. And the closest one we have, though, is in Charlotte, which is like 2 hours away from us. So we have to make our own.
Yeah.
Which is okay. We'll figure it out.
There it is. If you too are from the East Coast and you want delicious teriyaki,
yeah.
Now you know how to do it.
If you've been faking your entire life saying you like hibachi and we know you don't, Seattle teriyaki is for you.
I mean, honestly, I think when it comes to cooking that kind of stuff, like, you know, I grew up only eating like chicken breast or like chicken breast tenderloins. When you get older and you start cooking for yourself and you're like, oh, chicken thighs are cheaper, and you start actually cooking with chicken thighs, you're like, oh, this is teriyaki. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
like,
to me, like I like the white meat on the turkey, right? Like I don't want that dark meat. I think it's bland and no, thank you. So I always figured chicken was the same way, but the chicken thighs are darker meat and they are way more flavorful.
Well, yes.
Well, they're fattier, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think the fattier meat holds up better to the teriyaki sauce, and it doesn't dry out as fast. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do, this is related, not related. I like to buy skin on chicken thighs. Sometimes they have a bone, sometimes they don't. And like put them on like a pan in the oven, like 350, whatever. You do like 30 minutes or whatever. I don't know what temperature. It's either 350 or 400. I don't remember. But like every 10 minutes, like you flip them and you flip like twice, but you put barbecue sauce on. And it's like barbecue chicken thighs, but it makes the skin all crispy.
I love that.
And like those are one of the things that I used to make all the time because it was like I could always eat this. Like,
Yeah, chicken's one of those things that I just cannot get it right. Like
chicken's a difficult one, but it's also so versatile. So
there's
it's
a fine line though. It's like it's either undercooked and now you have salmonella, or now it's overcooked and it's dry.
And you have a hockey puck.
Like
yes. It's very what do you call it? Sensitive. It's sensitive. Chicken is a sensitive deal. And as you know, Amanda, when you were out here last, God, do they have tons of chicken places, man. It's like,
see, that's something I wish that we had more of over here is just fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yep. Because what it's really over there is KFC and Wingstop. Is that the only two?
Over here,
big.
I'm not even going to talk about like barbecue wing places.
Yeah.
But like we have KFC and like Popeyes, and then you have like
that's right,
Ezel's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But it's like chicken tenders.
Right.
So like I would love like a mom and pop where I could like go in and get like a thing of fried chicken.
Oh my God, Amanda.
Oh.
Amanda.
I know where you're going.
Amanda. Next time you're here, we're going to a place called Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack.
Okay.
Rocky's?
Yeah.
Rocky's.
I would not.
Randy's.
I would not go to Randy's.
Richard's Hot Chicken Shack. It is. Oh my God. Ash gets this hot honey chicken, and it's fried to perfection. It's giant. There's also tenders if you want to. It is arguably the best chicken in the upstate where we're at.
But is it all spicy?
No.
No, you
Okay.
can choose your level of spice. So Ash tends to go like more buffalo style. I'm more of like a sweet,
Yeah.
like I want a little spice, but not a lot because I'm a bitch. But then,
But then the kids get tenders
the
too.
kids just do tendies.
Right, but Cam does like a honey one.
And
that's,
their
like,
ranch,
sweet.
don't know why. So good. And their fries,
And their mac and cheese. Their sweet potatoes.
we talked to you about this,
Coca-Cola
Amanda, the Coca-Cola cake.
Oh, you told me about the Coca-Cola
Uh-huh,
cake. See,
yeah.
I wish we had more like Southern food, soul food restaurants over here.
Yeah.
And I know that there's like a couple in like Seattle, but it's more not authentic.
Yeah, I get that. Sure.
Or like fusion.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's really big over here right now is all these like fusion restaurants. So like
we've got that too. It's
I feel
like,
like it's
Tex-
trying to like ease people into like different flavor
They
profiles.
try to do a
Like-
lot. They still try to do a lot of like Southern Mex over here, where it's
Okay.
like barbecue and like smoked brisket tacos. Like
sure.
a
those-
lot of barbecue tacos.
Yeah, they do a lot of
situations.
that over here too. Tex-Mex
Over-
is still a thing in various spots, but
over here, I would say it's like Asian fusion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, you'll look up like best fried chicken and it'll send you to like a lot of like Korean fried chicken places,
Yeah.
yep.
which like Korean fried chicken is amazing. But I think somebody wouldn't know it's amazing if they weren't like looking specifically for that.
Right.
Fair. Yeah.
But anyway,
So make your own teriyaki chicken.
Yeah.
Get some more fried chicken in your life, and
We all just need some more chicken.
and we all die early,
That's
but at
the
least we enjoyed
answer to all of our problems.
good chicken. Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. I've got some interest. This is completely 180 topic. Well, 180. Wait, what's 180 from chicken? Not eating? All right. I guess I'm not wrong.
Movies.
All right. So if you're a first time listener, first time caller,
Long time listener, first time caller.
same thing.
first time listener, first time caller.
We are, for all intents and purposes, a movie podcast. I think that's kind of been our
Wow.
bread and butter throughout the ages.
Hence the real in real awkward.
But I want to start what I call a new segment
Oh
called Recast.
God, that sounds like all your other intros.
I know. I
Yep.
don't know another. I don't know another way to do it. Let me try it differently. Recast.
Still sounds the same. Let's just keep moving.
Okay.
Give me less.
All right.
Give me less.
Recast.
Ooh, I like that.
We're having
Recast.
a blast while we recast. This segment, guys, we are recasting famous characters in movies with people we think could have played them if the original actors were a no go.
If they did not exist.
Correct. And in this specific instance, we are going with people that were current at the time, but it's okay if you're like, 5 years, 10 years off or whatever. But it's like, let's say we're going to say who could play Batman now. And you're like, I don't know. Who's a young up and coming actor that could play Batman?
Robert
right now?
Pattinson.
Sure. Robert Pattinson. That's not what we're talking about. Okay.
So,
Yes.
fine. I unintentionally gave myself extra credit because I recast it sort of in the time period, and
Honestly,
then I also did
yes.
it as if I were remaking the movie today.
Okay, that's fine because I also did that on a couple actors where I was like, but if we remade it today, this is who I would choose.
I did not. I followed
Yes.
the rules.
No,
Got
I-
it.
no,
So the
follower.
instructions were unclear.
It took Andy to be okay.
Yes.
I texted Andy to ask him for specifications.
Yes.
And it took him damn near 2 hours to respond to me.
Oh, I know.
And we're in the same house.
I was gonna say I've been busy today. I was making teriyaki chicken. Okay, so first up on our list, I already sent this to Amanda and Ashley. You guys have had time to prepare. At this
Yeah.
point, you guys are gonna bring your A game with this recasting.
I was supposed to
okay?
get something prepared.
I'm going to give
Yeah.
myself extra credit because I actually went with the specific years that these movies were made
Oh,
I just did
dang.
like,
You held it.
like
very tightly.
like I tried to keep them like at least same like era,
I'm
like
good.
80s,
I'm
90s,
spazzing
early
out.
80s, early 90s.
Okay, I think you're. I don't think you're wrong.
Well, yeah, there were no rules.
I didn't know it was right or wrong.
How could I be wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. Okay, let's start. Okay, everybody play along as well. This is a perfect opportunity for you to pause the podcast, go to our Instagram, and you guys can send us who you would cast in these specific roles. So,
How are they going to know if they pause the podcast?
oh no, I'm going to say it, and then they pause
Magic.
and they can give us their stuff. Okay, I'm not.
They're just like sitting there waiting.
No, it's not. God, you're ruining it. And I'm hitting everything. I'm breaking down. Here we go.
We got props.
First up, I am Iron Man.
Oh, glad you didn't do it.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to scratch Andy off of the casting. Okay, listen. It's Robert Downey Jr., okay?
Right.
Came out in 2008. Everybody I remember was like, oh, Robert Downey Jr., I don't know, right? They didn't think his casting was actually going to be very good.
I think that it was the stint in rehab where everyone thought he fell off the face of the earth.
Right? And then he comes back out of nowhere and he's like, I am Iron Man.
Really, he was just hiding in a cave.
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
Well, he
I get
wasn't
it.
seen as reliable.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So the question is, Tony Stark, right? Because he's not just playing Iron Man, he's playing
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And that character has a lot of lore, a lot of backstory from the comics, and has a very unique look in the comics. So,
well, in my brain, I was like, who could be a millionaire philanthropist playboy?
that's exactly what I went with too.
I didn't do
Yes.
a lot of these by the visual. I did a lot of them kind of like based on like the personality, I
the
guess.
feeling.
The character.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I get you.
vibes.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the Iron Man thing. Ash, who is your first? Do you have just one?
Well, for most of these, I have two.
Okay, fantastic. I have some backups just in case we have doubles.
Right, but I don't always like. I prefer one more than the other on
Okay.
most of these.
All right.
But
Who's your first?
my first choice is Jeremy Renner.
Ooh, Renner.
I think that he
Interesting.
could be cocky.
Uh-huh.
He could have like swagger, but he
Okay.
can also do the action stuff.
I agree. He's a good Hawkeye.
And I think he could also be because he's also very smart. Like Iron Man's also very
You
smart.
think he could play
I
that
think-
like condescending attitude that Robert Downey Jr. has, though?
I think he could.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. That's a bold choice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Amanda, what you got? Who's your Iron Man?
So I was going with kind of early 2000s, huge movie star. Who do I think could kind of play millionaire playboy philanthropist who like has something happen and becomes a good guy? And I said Will Smith.
Oh, interesting.
I
Go
have
with
a
the
hard
Will
time.
Smith.
Go ahead, but
Yes.
You got to think, okay,
Yes.
put your mindset in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He
Yes.
was playing the leading man. He was
Right.
doing a lot of these kind of action adventures.
Yep.
And he was always kind of the good guy at the end of the day. And so I think that obviously they would have to change things, right? But I think he could pull off I'm a rich, famous guy, but now I care about others.
I could see that. So what I'm seeing him in is Hancock.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he is a drunk superhero in Hancock, and in the comics, Tony Stark, it has like an alcohol problem. So I could see that. Obviously, Will Smith can play suave, so I get that cast. It's so hard for me not to think of Will Smith as
As you think of him now.
Yeah.
Well, yes, like opinions set aside, but like, dude, he's literally Agent J, right?
Yeah.
J. Like that. I only think of him as Men in Black when I think of like that character. So that's hard. That's hard. But I think that's a bold one too, Amanda. That's a
That
bold
is
choice.
bold.
That's
What
a
is
bold
yours?
choice. Okay, so I'm going suave. Okay. I'm going guy that can be the millionaire, but also can handle like that alcohol side thing. I went John Hamm as Tony Stark. So pull him straight out of Mad Men, but then give him the goatee, and then that's his Tony Stark character. So he's got enough, and I know he can play like the offbeat condescending because he did it in Driver, right? Like he was playing a little bit with that character as the bad guy in that one. So John Hamm is my go-to. The low-hanging fruit, we're going to snake draft this one, okay, was Tom Cruise. Because that was what was rumored to be Iron Man's casting, was Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I could see that being offered to him at that point in his career.
Yeah.
See, for me, and it's funny because the actor who did play this character was also in Mad Men, but I could see John Hamm playing Howard Stark.
Oh, his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because he's a lot more stoic.
I can't see John Hamm doing like the action-y bits.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I have seen him do a couple things, but you're right.
So I think it could be Tony Stark, but not Iron Man.
Agree.
Okay. The athleticism isn't there.
So did anybody come up with if we were doing Iron Man right now, like who would you cast?
I had a backup.
Okay.
It was Clive Owen. Do you remember him in Shoot 'Em Up?
No, I love Clive Owen.
He can do the action stuff, he can do the drama stuff, and he can also be funny. So but he's British. So that's a hard one because of that.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I agree with your point, but I think he'd make a better alternate Doctor Strange.
Oh God, you're right. She's better. Man, she's got this casting right. She's got this casting right.
Okay, so if I were casting Iron Man today,
yes,
I would cast Jake Gyllenhaal as Iron Man.
I could see that. I still see him as a kid, which is really hard for me to shake.
You've never been a Jake Gyllenhaal fan.
I'm not particularly a fan of his, but when he played Mysterio, he kind of showed like that he could kind of like be the smart guy, like pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And then he could also wear the suit and be the superhero.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy, where I have a hard time seeing him as like mature enough to be Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The current one that I thought of is the guy that plays Sandman, the actor that plays Sandman.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Oh, not Sandman. Why did I say that? Sandman. Preacher. Have you seen isn't it called Why do I might be saying this wrong. Isn't it called Sandman and he's a preacher and he takes out like demons and stuff? Or am I saying that wrong?
Are you talking about Dominic Cooper?
Thank you. Yes. What is the show?
Preacher.
It's Preacher. Okay.
But Dominic Cooper is Howard Stark.
What? When?
He played Howard Stark in the flashbacks and in Agent Carter.
Oh, she's right.
No wonder he looks like Tony Stark.
Well, I knew it. I knew that he felt right.
Well, I agree with you.
Role. I totally forgot about those roles.
He's
You're
also
right.
in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Ooh, there you go. Okay. All right. So that is our Iron Man.
Iron Man.
We've got 4 more. So keep
Okay.
playing along, okay? Y'all. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Indy.
Indiana Jones, okay? Jack Black. What do you guys think? Jack
No. No. No.
You should
First
see
of all-
Ashley's face. She's like, "Get out."
How old
We
was
both-
he when that
we
came
both
out?
it was
had, like, a
joke. It was
visceral
joke.
reaction
yeah.
to that.
You guys both vomited in your mouth a little bit.
Absolutely
okay.
not.
So Amanda, this is one of your favorite characters of all time.
Yes.
Talk to me, babe. What do you got going on?
Okay. This is one where I do think that I'll say this for all of them. I think all of these instances that you're bringing up to us, I think the casting is perfect.
You mean like Harrison
So-
Ford was great? Is that what you're saying? Yes.
I think Harrison Ford was the right man for the job.
Correct.
That being said,
Okay.
there was another character, like a character actor out at that time that was doing sort of like the ruggedly handsome kind of thing. And for me, that's Tom Selleck.
Ooh.
So Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck. So does he lose the mustache then? And he don't-
Absolutely not.
And
That's the moneymaker, baby.
okay, so he keeps the mustache and still rocks the whip and the hat. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
But,
I mean, I do
so-
see the ruggedness though. I get it.
Yeah, so Tom Selleck, very similar to Harrison Ford, has that sort of like mature and like I'm a nice guy, but I could punch you in the face if I needed to. And I don't know. I think especially like Magnum. I think of a Magnum PI.
Okay.
Like,
yes. Yes.
and I think that just like vibes, it would work. But I also think it's funny
like
because the Rescuers Down Under, not the Rescuers Down Under, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yes.
One of them is dressed like Indiana Jones and one of them is dressed like Magnum PI.
But he can play both.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
What do you got?
Good choice. Ash, where are you at?
I picked Steve Guttenberg.
I love Steve Gutenberg.
No, I can't. I
love
can't
him.
take him.
I just feel like he'd
I
be a
can't take
fantastic
him as-
adventurer.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't.
I agree with honestly.
I think
Ashley,
he could have
it
that
would be,
sternness.
No.
It would be a totally different kind of movie,
That's
but I
just
agree
it.
with you.
With a lot of my picks, it's like, yeah, it would be a different movie.
No.
Yes.
I appreciate it a lot, but all I'm seeing is the overwhelmed guy in 3 Men and a Baby. Like, just can't handle. He just drops the gauntlet. He can't whip. He just gets overwhelmed. He's all nervous.
It would be more. I feel like
fantastic.
it would be more of a marriage between Ace Ventura and Indiana Jones if it was
Could
Steve
see-
Gutenberg.
yeah, a little
But
bit.
I don't think it has to be like goofy Steve
No,
Gutenberg.
No,
like
I
if he's
agree.
just,
serious
like,
Gutenberg. Okay.
serious Gutenberg.
Okay.
I love
Now, she
Steve
did
Gutenberg.
say, listen, she did say her parameters that she was choosing the same year.
Same
So,
year.
Yes.
So
okay.
this,
Okay.
Yeah.
he was a hot actor
Yeah.
that year.
Okay.
My backup, my
Yes.
alternative is Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought of that too. But during that time, he was like the sexy man.
And that's
wasn't
why
he?
that's why I didn't make him my
Yeah.
number
He was
one.
Big Trouble in
because
Little
He was a
China.
little too sultry.
He was like sexy action
Yeah.
star. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, he
didn't-
was.
But
he was
again-
still rugged though, because
but
he
again,
played
he was-
Snake
yeah.
Plissken.
But it
And-
would have taken Indiana Jones in a different direction.
He was Captain Ron.
So like
so he
it
could
put
be
Steve Gutenberg and Kurt Russell together.
I love it. Honestly, I love the casting. I think it's good. I think he could have held. It would have been different. It would have
Yeah.
felt like Indiana Jones MacGyver coming together. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But at
a
least he
little
had
bit,
the like,
yeah.
the stone face and he could
Yeah.
like
yeah.
Did you have any more, Andy, for Indiana Jones?
Oh, I have 3.
ooh,
Okay.
I have 3.
overachiever.
Do you have more?
I have one if we were casting it today.
Okay. So, I do have one if we were casting it today.
Okay.
But my go-to for Indiana Jones, let's say Harrison Ford, he was about to be cast. He either quit or he dropped dead. I think they could have easily went to Dennis Quaid and it would have just hit. I think they could have done Dennis Quaid. I think he could have just put the hat on and then just been that same character. I don't know. I think because Harrison Ford did Star Wars, you had a little bit of that cheekiness that he does in that character, which made it well. But if you guys have ever seen Dennis Quaid, like Inner Space or Enemy Mine, he plays those characters very well. And like you put a hat on Dennis Quaid and he looks like a rugged like cowboy. And funny enough, I think that they could have been brothers in one shape or form, but Kevin Costner was my other pick. Both of those guys, throw a hat on them because Kevin Costner does Wyoming, right?
Well, he does Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with you, like visually. I think that Harrison Ford. In my opinion, I think that Harrison Ford does a better job of balancing the light moments with the heavier moments. Yeah. Where I think that Dennis Quaid and Kevin Costner
are drama.
They're more drama.
Yeah, they're very heavy drama. My third pick is Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson as Indiana Jones, rugged, but I don't see Liam Neeson joking around very often.
Honestly, though, he's been doing a lot of comedies as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
I would want to see. That's the movie you make where you have the old Indiana Jones and Liam
his daughter
Neeson
was stolen.
Is his like old school chum who's like secretly a bad guy.
So funny enough, I picked all of these because all of these guys, Dennis Quaid, Liam Neeson, and Kevin Costner, they're about 8 years younger than Harrison Ford, but they're all in their almost 70s now, where Harrison Ford's in his 80s. So it was kind of hard. You couldn't really cast during that time, but yeah, that was it. Amanda, who's your modern pick for Indy?
Okay, so ignoring a few recent flops, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson would make like young Indiana Jones.
I can see that too. I can see that too.
Because he's already shown he can kind of do like the action comedy adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That I think that if they gave him, I also think he would do a good job if they redid The Mummy and he was Rick O'Connell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I think that like that kind of action adventure, but it's like something about finding treasure. It's like its own genre.
Right.
Like something about that. I think he could do that.
My choice is because I think he could play Alan Quartermain. So I feel like it would work with Indiana Jones. And that's Bradley Cooper. I feel like Bradley Cooper could literally don the hat. He could have the cheekiness. He could still be rugged enough. He could still be funny, and he can do the action stuff. So I think it'd be golden. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I can
see that.
Yeah.
You know, I think of, I mean, God, comedy over with Hangover, drama over with Silver Linings Playbook and Fault in Our Stars. He was Star is Born or Star is Born. Mm-hmm. And like I just see his dynamic range through a lot of that stuff. And then I think about all of his set time on Marvel with Rocket Raccoon, and he's like doing the motion capture and stuff like that. It's like he's got all the pieces to be able to do something like that.
I can see that.
That's where I'm at. Next up, okay, this one is already been recast, which is why I chose it, because I want to know what we would do. But that is Wednesday from the Addams Family. Where do we put a new actress?
I like how you specify as if there's other Wednesdays.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Thursday or Tuesday from the Addams Family. We're talking about Wednesday.
Not Wednesday Johnson.
No.
Not that one.
Who are you recasting? You're throwing Christina Ricci out, okay? She's gone. Who is the new Wednesday Addams?
I found this one tricky.
Yeah. Is it because...
This is why it was tricky.
Yeah.
Because I went with that year. She was 11.
Right.
Yes, I also went early 90s child actor.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you had to find a kid who was relevant at the time.
Right.
So I was looking at birth years. I think Reese Witherspoon could have done it.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
I think she could play that, like, she like is serious, but I think Reese Witherspoon understands humor a little bit.
Sure.
where she could have like subtly done that, like
Where she could be the straight, but knowing that like there's an undertone.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
It. Yeah. Okay.
And I looked at pictures of her from when she was a kid, and actually she did her first movie the same year.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I think that her face could have suited the character.
See, that's how I went for all my picks. Was that does it look like Wednesday Addams?
I mean, it's the look.
And I looked at all of them younger to see if they would match that tone. So, Amanda, come on. One of your favorite movies of all time, Addams Family.
Obviously, I go more based on like who was acting that was like roughly the same age around the same time. So I looked up, child actors from the early 90s.
Yep.
And I already had one in mind, and she was on there. So keep in mind, I'm not looking for someone who looks exactly like Christina Ricci in Wednesday Addams.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm looking, and I did this for all of them, honestly. Like, I'm looking for someone who I think could do it, but also like, I don't know, the vibe has to be the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I have other actors who I think would play other roles in this movie that I've made in my own head now. But if we were looking for a slightly different version of the Addams Family, I would cast Raven Simone as Wednesday from The Cosby Show. That's so Raven.
Raven Simone.
so
Interesting.
I have to
At
try
the
to
time-
remember that she's a kid, because at first
Yes.
I'm like
Yeah.
picturing her as an adult,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yes.
no.
So at the time, she was just this cute little girl with like curly hair.
Yeah.
That like, if you imagine that maybe they took a different route and like maybe featured a black family for the Addams Family,
Yeah.
she could have pigtails, and she could still wear the dress with the white collar, and she could still terrorize her brother.
Interesting. I'm only questioning it because does she have the stoic look? You think she could do the stoic look?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
That is
because
Wednesday?
basically think about the Wednesday that we're getting now from the Tim
Yeah,
Burton series
right.
is not the Wednesday from the movies.
Right.
The Wednesday
right.
now is almost like aloof autist, okay? Like,
Oh, you're right. Yes.
in the original,
yes.
they all kind of knew they were all in on the joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she had this just very dry sense of humor where
Okay.
Jenna Ortega is just very dry.
fair.
And I think that being on the Cosby Show, Raven Simone could deliver the lines
Okay.
in a comedic way.
Good sell.
But
Good
also
sell.
in my fantasy of this new Addams Family, Eddie Murphy is Gomez and Angelica Houston Eddie Murphy is Gomez and Angela Bassett is Morticia.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Remember when I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
who
can see
Angela
it.
Bassett was?
Yeah.
Right? Could you
Yeah, you're
imagine
clueless.
like Eddie Murphy's character like doing the mazurka and all that stuff? Like, I mean, it would be a totally different movie, but I think it would be great.
It would be good. Because him in his heyday, he's fantastic. Really
Yeah.
good comedic actor, and I think he could do
And
it
Angela
too.
Bassett is stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Wait, so are you talking modern Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett?
No, I'm talking like mid 90s.
If it was
Like
okay.
Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
yeah.
I dig it.
Was that your two? Were those just one?
That's my then.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have a now for
Okay.
every
I
person.
don't have a now for her. So
Okay.
I did 3 on this one as well. My first pick. Now this is, you have to think about all of these actresses younger. I looked at pictures of them younger and it instantly screamed to me, that's freaking Wednesday Addams. And hopefully it translates to you guys. But the first one is Rose McGowan.
Seem like apple face.
Yeah.
Her young,
The
her and
round
Christina
eyes.
Ricci look like they could be sisters
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
that. But I feel like she would have had that look that they were
Yeah.
going for, right? They're trying to cast
Yeah.
out. I don't feel like I really need to talk that one up at all. It makes sense. This one's a little bit out of left field, but it's hard because you guys only know her as blonde hair, but you have to imagine black hair, and that's Amanda Seyfried. So if you look at her young, she has a couple pictures where she has like pigtails and stuff, and there is very much a Wednesday vibe to that. And in the acting that she's done, she's had these weird roles where she's had to be like stoic and serious and uncomfortable. And she's even been in Mean Girls, right? So it's like she knows how to be a mean girl.
Yeah, but she would have been
technically this one I guess would be my modern day casting, but she's too old to be the new Wednesday and too young to be the old Wednesday.
Yeah, if they made it 20 years ago.
Yeah, then it would hit.
I have a second pick.
Go ahead, do it before I get to that one.
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes. I'm trying to remember her young. Like what?
Well, she was in My So-Called Life.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But if you have to think of her a little bit younger than that because she was more like teen years.
Yes.
But I think she's got the face that could be like, she's still pleasant looking, right?
Sure. Yes.
But I feel like she's got the face that could be stoic. And I feel like from her character, she could also be very like stoic.
I never even think of Claire Danes. I should think of her more.
I should think of Claire Danes more.
For some reason, I only think of Claire Danes in what, Mod Squad? You guys remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, right? But that's like, I'm trouble really thinking of her in any other role right now.
Well, because I don't think she does as much acting now as she did
Yeah,
when
you're
she
probably
was younger. Okay, Amanda, what's your modern pick?
Yeah, what is your modern pick?
Okay, so if I were recasting, I would put Jenna Ortega in the role as Wednesday.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But that being said, visually, I think you could also go with Dove Cameron.
I don't know Dove Cameron, do I?
She's Baby Doll from Sucker Punch.
Oh.
She's in The Descendants.
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah, you're probably right. I could see that. Okay. Wait, she was what? Baby Doll?
Yeah, she's like the main character in Sucker Punch, right?
Nope.
No, that's
She's
Emily.
No, that's Emily Browning. Yeah.
Oh, I genuinely thought they were the same person.
Well, and they probably do look like it, to be honest, because that character, like together, they don't look that dissimilar. But
like there's a handful. I also feel Johnny Depp's daughter has that kind of similar face right now.
Yeah.
All those like thin girls that were kind of gaunt that like are a little spooky.
Yep.
That girl.
My outlier pick for Wednesday was I'm gonna butcher her name, but Fairuza Balk. She was in The Craft. She's the crazy one in The Craft.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And when you look
I
at
could
her
see
younger, yes, you're just kind of like, oh, you are Wednesday Addams.
She's got the crazy eye part.
I don't know what her acting is like.
Yes. She had the crazy, but I think from a more mild mannered kid that's just a little like naughty, I think she could have done that. She could have done that okay.
She's actually quite a bit older than Christina Ricci.
Oh, I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought they were roughly the same age.
Okay. She would have been 17 at the time.
Okay. This is a little too old. A little too old to play an 11-year-old. Okay. We are on, ladies, to a physical comedic actor who I don't think has an equal. I will be honest. I looked at all of these. I chose picks and I still wasn't satisfied with them. But that is Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey playing the role.
Yeah.
You have to recast that movie. Who is your person?
This was definitely one that I had to think of who is a physical comedian, not just a funny guy, but like works with their body.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, because I feel like we all have the same one, but maybe Amanda's been unique on this list.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's let Amanda go.
Technically, I have 3.
Okay.
But I have 2 as my main.
Okay.
I only have 1.
Hit me with your first.
Phil Hartman.
Oh, interesting. Yes,
I
want to hear
think
it.
Phil Hartman. Now, obviously, he's gone, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But like Phil Hartman was fucking funny. Like he was on SNL. He like did a ton of stuff for The Simpsons. He was on News Radio. He was genuinely so funny, and I think that he could do the voices and like the wackiness of Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
But I think Mike Myers would be a better physical actor of the role.
Yeah.
I considered Mike Myers, and then I was like, I don't know if I would think that was a funny movie.
Yeah, because you don't like Mike Myers?
I just don't think it would have
hit as much.
No, and I think Jim Carrey, again, I think all of these were cast correctly.
Right, sure.
But I think Jim Carrey's one of those actors where it's like, how do you match that?
Yeah.
And so I'll save my third one, and then obviously I have a now one, but I'll save my third one until you guys go.
I'm excited for the now one. Do you want me to go, Ash, just because you only have one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think this is the low-hanging fruit out of all of these, and it's Robin Williams. Like, Robin Williams, when it comes to being able to match Jim Carrey's character, the like flamboyancy that he's gonna need, the like ability to like just morph into somebody else and just be kooky. Dude, Robin Williams is a rock star.
It would have been very different. It would have been like a bing, bing, boom.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, good. Fantastic. Okay. I want to
say
these animals.
That was not my pick.
Yeah, it wasn't mine either.
I went back and I watched an SNL skit called In a Van Down the River.
Yes. Yeah.
Who is it?
And it's funny that Amanda said Phil Hartman because he was in that skit, but Chris Farley
Chris
could
Farley
have done Ace Ventura justice.
Do you think though that he would have been okay? So here's what's funny
I'm picturing him in a tutu with the
in the Ace Ventura movie though, Jim Carrey's character is off. He's weird, but he knows his shit, right? But I don't see Chris Farley as being a like skilled animal, like control. What I don't even know what Jim Carrey's actual. He's a pet detective.
Like a pet and private investigator.
Yeah, I don't see Chris Farley as that. I see the silliness, but I don't see him being able to play the other side where Jim Carrey, like there was some moments where he's like, you notice that there's emotion with his animal connection, but I don't see that with Chris Farley.
It would have been a very different movie because like Amanda said, it was cast correctly. I feel like Ace Ventura was a Jim Carrey character. It wasn't like, here's a movie, who could play it? No, it was like, here's Jim Carrey, what can he do?
Yeah, what movie can we make for him? I agree.
I could. Chris Farley was the third person I was going to say. And I think Chris Farley, the movie would have changed a little bit, but I think that Chris Farley would have done a very good job with the physicality and the zaniness. I think that it would be the kind of character where he would let people think he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
I think you're right. I think you're right, which would have made it funny that he just so happens to get through the plot being a moron.
Like he bumbles his way through it.
Right. I could see that.
And then I have a now one if you guys want to talk about now.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Wait, before you do now.
Oh, go for it.
I have two that just hit me and I had to talk about them. Number one, Martin Short. I understand that his character would have been goofy and little and like quaint, but he also is like this little bundle of nerdy, goofy, awkward, and it would have been a very different movie, but I sit there and I think of Clifford and I think of Pure Luck, and it makes me laugh thinking that he's this little man going to like try to save a dolphin. Like I think it would have been wonderful.
I could see him as like Ace Ventura's dad.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to this one, ladies. Listen.
Linda.
Ace Ventura, but in Britain, okay? Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Mr. Bean. Like, let him finally talk. Let him have that role where he gets to like speak and like be goofy and funny. But I think he could have had all the physical comedy traits down. I think he was always entertaining. I see him. But I don't have a current.
I'm imagining the rhino scene from Ace Ventura when nature calls, and it's fully just the Bean, like it's Mr. Bean, so it's silent, and he's just miming the whole time.
It's hot in here. Okay, Amanda, I have no current one. You got a current one?
So honestly, and I only say this just because I think like he's the only person like I could visually see, and it would be Pete Davidson.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like he would have the physical comedy.
I don't know how much of a physical comedian he is, but like just like if I picture it in the outfit, I can see Pete Davidson.
I don't think there's a lot of actors that are like extra now. You know what I mean?
No,
like
not at
Jim
all.
Carrey was extra.
That was an era. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think
Yeah.
you can be that guy now. And they're like, oh, cast him. It's fantastic.
No, they're like, he's trying
Yeah.
too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Interesting.
get labeled as a tryhard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Pete Davidson TV show King of Staten Island? Is that what that one?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen it at all, but I was wondering if his character is goofy or serious or what in that one. So I don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway, this is Amanda's list of banger characters and movies that she loves, which is kind of funny. But Amanda, the frickin' Vankster, dude. Peter Venkman. Okay? The one, the only Bill Murray was cast in this role. Who else plays this like character? He's a condescending. He literally is Robert Downey Jr. all over again.
Well, so he's Robert Downey Jr. without the showmanship.
Fair, yes.
So
yes.
Peter Venkman's character is smug.
Yes.
He's arrogant.
That's a good word.
And
for
like
it,
he
smug.
cares about his friends and stuff.
Right.
But like for the most part, he's not overly likable. But at
Right.
the end of the day, he comes through.
Right.
So going with like mid to late 80s comedy actors, kind of smug, I went with Chevy Chase.
That was my pick.
See, I had Chevy Chase on the list, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,
Well,
I don't like his face.
the funny thing is, I looked him up to see, like, if I could visualize him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing Ghostbusters wiki fandom pages that were
Yes.
attached to his pictures.
Interesting.
And he was actually offered a role on Ghostbusters and he turned it down.
Interesting.
Yes.
I wonder who he was going to play.
They don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it was very early on. I did know
Yeah.
that he was in the talks to do it.
Okay.
But I mean, really, I think that Egon is perfectly cast. I mean, I think everybody's perfectly cast.
Yep.
But like, Venkman is the one that you could kind of easily find somebody to maybe switch out. But I think that Chevy Chase does the dry, sarcastic humor.
Yep.
Well.
It's National Lampoon's like all over again where
Exactly.
he does that
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I have somebody that's literally can sit at the same table with them and Steve Martin. Like
Yes.
right.
I
the
see.
jerk Parenthood.
I almost did Steve Martin, but I think Steve Martin would make a better Ray.
You're probably right.
I don't
Honestly,
see
you're
Steve
probably
Martin
right.
as being like the
Smug.
cocky, confident smug.
Yeah.
I don't see that part of
Steve
it.
Martin. Steve Martin would also do a very good job as Louis Tully.
Oh,
Rick
okay.
Moranis' character?
Yes, I agree. I also had Tom Hanks in here because I feel like he was just versatile enough that he could have done the role. Now, I think he's more likable than Bill Murray's character back then. But have you guys ever seen The Burbs?
Yes.
Okay. So like The Burbs and excuse me, and obviously Big, it just goes to show like he has this like he has a way of being a chameleon when he needs to, like into whatever role. And I think I don't think that Tom Hanks was Peter Venkman, but I think that he could have turned into it. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks has hosted SNL a ton of times, and he's gotten older, he's gotten a little more like when he does fun little cameos and things, he leans into a little more of like the "don't touch me,"
Yeah.
And so like I could see it, but
Yes.
it wouldn't be one that if I was like an executive, people were like, "Get it, Tom Hanks." I'd be
I
like,
don't.
"No."
Yeah.
I can see him working in the role. I can't see him with the rest of the cast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll give
feel
you that.
like those go
Yeah.
together.
I only have one more. Do you guys have any more for Venkman?
Nope.
I have who would I cast if I was doing it now?
Okay, I don't think I did a casting
Okay, so
now.
do yours then.
My last one is Michael Keaton, as I think Michael Keaton.
Oh, totally. I didn't even think of him.
Yeah, Michael Keaton had the perfect persona to be able to be that exact same character, and he would have killed it.
Yep.
Dry, sarcastic,
Yes.
but
Yes.
still charming.
Yeah.
Yes,
In fact, he
yeah.
could have played all of these characters.
He could have done any of them.
I mean,
Any
I
of
love
them.
Michael Keaton. So
I do. I love
no
me some
argument out of
Keaton.
me.
Multiplicity.
So my one, I have two. If I would do it now, one a little more so than the other. I think Jason Bateman could like play
Okay.
a little because he does that kind of dry,
absolutely.
smug.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's funny you said for your first choice, Ashley, because I think Jeremy Renner would make a very good Peter Venkman.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yep.
Like, because in the movie Tag, which if you've never seen Tag, it's great. He plays this character in this group of friends that he's smarter, faster, better. He thinks a step ahead. And so he's pretty smug and he's very kind of like dry and cut off from these like personal friendships because he doesn't want to give off like a weakness. And so I could see that working because he knows how to do comedy as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. I like that casting choice. See, I will say though, nothing feels as good as who they already casted, does it?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, because all of these are iconic roles for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what though? I think we did pretty good. I think we could definitely. You remember when they would make those like offshoot B movies to combat
or
with
Transmorphers?
Yes,
or the sequels where they change all the actors out.
Yes, we can cast for those movies. We're good at that.
Exactly.
We've got y'all. Awesome. Amanda, are you leading us out with?
No, I am.
Oh, you are. This is you. Okay.
Yeah, don't get it wrong.
I'm not doing shit.
Okay, sounds good.
That's what she's leading us out with.
Good. I ain't doing shit.
This is a real quick one,
Okay.
so
all right.
None of this like, is that it? Don't do that crap.
Okay. All right.
it.
Sam and Cat.
Okay.
What are we gonna do?
This might not help, but if you're tired of cleaning your house, just have less stuff.
Can't argue with that.
That's it. You can stop the music.
That seems simple.
I thought you were going to say, if you're tired of your stuff, burn your house down.
Yeah, that's what I thought
that
she was
too.
gonna say.
That would definitely not help.
Just burn your house down. Just throw
Get
away
that
your stuff.
insurance payout and start over. You deserve it.
I love it. Guys, we've been real and awkward for you today. Amanda, if somebody wants to join in on the conversation and say hi, where do they do it?
If you want to try to dispute my choices for this, good luck to you. But you can head over to our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. We have links to all of our socials over there, along with links to our socials in the description of the episode.
Oh,
Do it.
okay. Okay.
Sure.
We'll talk to you on the next episode of the Real Awkward Podcast. But no.
Bye-bye.
No. Bye.